of accessing the benefits of that fund, we were the least in the whole country. And part of the challenges we saw is that there was no supply of housing units. And so Copen Group came in and said, okay, we can be a solution provider in this regard, because part of our vision, the first is mentoring, the second is poverty elevation, and the third is housing for all. So part of our vision, it was the driving force to now come in to see how we can bridge that gap, to provide a supply of housing units. So in 2007, we came into Enugu with Bethel Estate. Before then, we were consultants to the Federal Mortgage Bank, which we have been over the years. We've done consultancies for the World Bank. We've planned statewide projects for Calabar, Ecom, and Ogoja. We've done different things across the globe. The first major project, incidentally, was this Enugu State Primary Education Board. A number of us have seen that. That was in 1998, 1999. That was commissioned by Abdulsalami Abubakar back then in the day. So, Copen is not the creation of one government or another. It's the creation of God Almighty to solve a particular problem. So fast forward back to 2007, we came in and did Bethel Estate project, about 126 housing units there. MNA, sold out. People began to see, before then, Enugu was, I like to buy my land, I like to build my house, I like to fence it, and put my dog in my compound. But we moved from that to see that you can leverage on the investments that are available to you. One of which was your National Housing Fund scheme. And that, over the years, after the first Bethel Estate, we did that. Goshen Estate came in next in 2010. Jubilee Estate came in also in 2010, 2011. From there, we moved to Elim Estate, Jedediah Gardens, El Shama Estate, and it keeps going on and on. Jaire, you may have heard all these names. Some of you may have friends who live there. Now, fast forward, we've moved from Enugu, we've moved to Nsukka, we have Adonai Gardens, Elohim Estate, Workers Village. We're doing a number of these projects funded by the same Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. So if you are contributing to the National Housing Fund scheme and you have not accessed your own facility, for example, to buy your own house, I'm standing here on behalf of some of us who have access to say thank you for contributing and not accessing, because I used your money to buy my own house in Enugu. So I'm thanking you for that. But beyond that, we have arrived at a place we call Graceland. And the truth about the matter is that everything about it speaks of grace. We have a beautiful layout, put out there for us. I'll just put that out. So the layout just looks like this. Where you're sitting right now is somewhere at this point, okay? Backing some bungalows. All the bungalows are across this stretch, which is on the left-hand side of this road. So we're going to do a tour after this. But the idea behind this is that we have a total of 379 housing units in this estate. Some may say it's large. That's relative. But we have a target. And we are speaking to people who we believe are our partners. People who have worked with us over the years and who can jointly, both of us, can jointly see how we can reach that vision. The vision is to deliver 1,000 housing units this year. That's what we want to do. We want to do that. So this is 379. There are other estates in the picture, even as we speak. We have the Jedediah Premium, just close to Jedediah Gardens. We have the Shalom Gardens. We have so many estates, and they're not only in Enugu. We have some at Abakaliki going on as we speak. We have some at Abuja. Now we have both residential, we have commercial, and so on and so forth. So it depends on what you or your client would like to get. The interesting part of it is that for each of these projects, they come in at a certain time period and they get fully subscribed. I will just briefly show you, very briefly, a slight picture of everything in green is taken. Everything in green is taken on this estate. Okay, now that presents you a very nice opportunity to let people know not only are we here, not only are these buildings all standing. Remember, what you're seeing standing started in November last year. So this is not a project that has been 5 years running. From November last year, everything you see here was bush before November. But between that time and now, just so that you can appreciate the, excuse me. Oh, thank you, sir. He he's reminding me that what I just showed you was the status of sales as at Wednesday last week.
From days ago.
So between then and now, things have happened, and things are happening, and things will still happen. And what we want in this meet and greet is not only for us to know ourselves better, but to understand the vision. Because if you understand the vision, then truly we can work together. Now, the vision is to deliver 1,000 housing units. It's not just because you want to deliver it, or it's not just because it's part of our mandate as a company, it's part of our vision as a company. It's something that we have realized that the most significant investment any family here does is your housing investment. Think about all your assets. Think about the quantity of assets you have. Check the portion of those assets that is for housing. You find out is the most significant investment that each family here has made or will make. And we want to be sure that that investment is in the right place. Because we've heard so many stories, and we have a lot of our brothers and sisters who are in diaspora. And a lot of them have sent money and didn't see anything. But we have very few opportunities here for us to see that we can invest, we can see that, and in a few months down the line, we will be seeing children on these roads riding their bicycles, people taking walks on this road. It's okay to clap. It's okay to clap. I think it's okay to clap. You know, forgive me, it's not a speech-making day, but I'm just sharing an experience from the bottom of my heart. That's one joy that nobody has been able to take away from me and my colleagues. That we start with what looks like just paper. And for the last 16 years, I've worked with Open Group. And we have moved from paper to people riding on the streets, to children playing ball in the open areas, to people selling within the vicinity. We've moved from a place in a Goshen area, for example, where the land was 300,000 naira to 55 million over a space of about 7 years. Think about it for a minute. 300,000 naira was the cost of land. That moved to about 55 million in the space of about 7 to 10 years. I do not think there are many investments that will give you that kind of traction. That is what we are offering you here today. So it's beyond just housing units. It's changing the lives of people. Literally, Jedediah Gardens, El Shammai Estate in Centenary was another testament. In 2020, during COVID, a lot of us were still working. And we sold the most in that year because God said so. Now, we delivered in 2020 a bungalow that looks like this, but an older version, for 20 million naira.
19.
Some were even less. Someone is correcting me that it was 19, or someone is correcting me for 15, some for 18, depending on when you came. But I'm going to the end of it. By 2020, we're doing at 20 million naira, 21 million naira. Today, those properties are yielding investment in the hand of people who have bought and are reselling. Current price today, anybody?
It's 90.
75, 80.
I hear 75, I hear 80. Now, why I did not say that is I wanted the information to come from us. Because the truth about it is that it's a site, so we expect to hear noise, right? Possibly hear me. Okay. Lost you over the last 1 minute. Some people here were wondering, why didn't I buy when it was 20 million? But the same question you may be asking, or you may be telling yourself, why didn't I tell so and so when it was 20? It's the same question somebody may have to ask themselves if you don't take advantage of this opportunity for Graceland while it is now. So we have 379 housing units. We have from bungalows, which are behind you at the moment, to duplexes of different categories, from the 4-bedroom, fully detached duplexes with a boys' quarter space. We also have the ones without a boys' quarter space. We have the 5-bedroom, fully detached duplex that sits on a full plot of land, 540 square meters. We have the 6-bedroom, what we call the healthy home. I see some people who, you know, I have walked into a health. My colleague lives in a healthy home at Abuja. I've walked into the healthy home, and you know, imagine a home where you had provision for a lift. So your elderly parent doesn't have to always stay on the ground floor. They can once again stand at the top and see the view of Enugu and say, yes, this was the city I grew up in some days ago. Or this is how a city looks like from the aerial view. Imagine a building where ventilation systems are put in there. We don't pay a lot of attention to our health, unfortunately. But that healthy home, it has ventilation systems that suck out excess bad air. Carbon dioxide. When you do these things, you sleep and wake up, you don't know what really is going on in your environment. But that's what's contained in what we call the healthy home. Different houses, and the home is on 3 floors. These houses are cheap. They range from, someone is asking, what is it now? Yes, it's cheap. It ranges from 80 million to 470, depending on where your pocket lies. But the truth about the matter is that some of the housing units still have the option of the mortgage plan, which we've been speaking about, which I have used, a lot of my colleagues have used, and many of you here seated have also used. So the meet and greet we have today is not for, like I said, long speeches. I'm just sharing from the bottom of my heart how the journey has been, what the vision is, and what we can do together if we put our hands on the same deck and let's say we can run this race together. So it's an opportunity. After this, we'll give some time for a few questions, and then we'll do a little tour, after which we'll take some refreshments, and then we're done. I hope that's good for a program.
Yes.
All right, so let me stop here. A few questions, contributions, comments, and then we'll go for a quick tour. All right, thank you very much for listening.
Yes, sir.
This, you can buy a stretch. I'm not only speaking. Okay, let me give you a background. Where we are coming from as Copen is we want to see how more people can get access to housing. I have people, for example, who their siblings, their people outside the country are looking for housing units. So when I say that, some people have said, you know what, I need to be here. My brother needs to be beside me. Okay. My mother, who is still in service, needs to be on that place. Okay. But this brother called Okonkwo needs to be beside my mother to take care of her. Okay. Am I communicating? So you find out that in one family alone, because all of them are eligible because they are contributing to the same National Housing Fund, they can actually go and take facilities and buy housing units, concrete and all that. So what we have done is to leave certain items available for people to make inputs on. So what I've told you about the healthy home is something that at the end of the day, what is deliverable on that, depending on each person. I can't fit everybody's choice here into this discussion right now, which is why I told her we'll send the brochures, and that will contain the details of what we are delivering and what people can do beyond what we are delivering. Okay, it's contained in that. So what I'm trying to do, if you understand where I'm coming from, is to see how we can answer the generality of questions. I can't keep everybody under the sun for long. We need to do a quick talk. But I'm answering the generality of questions, and then by the time we share the project brochures, you can now deepen the understanding of your specific choice. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. So I think that's how we'd like to. Now, in the 3-bedroom bungalow behind you, you have a 3-bedroom, all rooms and suite, and you have an extra toilet and for visitors in the parlor. So that's 4 toilets in all, and then all rooms and suites. You have a kitchen, you have a store, and then you have within the compound enough space to put a boys' quarter behind the main building which we are delivering. We are not delivering the boys' quarter, but we're saying that sufficient space is behind the main building to do a boys' quarter in the future if you want. Beyond that, you can park. I'm looking at my own house, so I'm not. I've left this meeting. I'm not looking at something. Okay, so but you can park at least 4 to 5 vehicles inside the compound. Okay, after the boys' quarter.
That's for the bungalow.
For the bungalow. Okay. Now you have slightly more space in the duplex because the footprint of the duplex is smaller. So the compound space allows you for more vehicles. Okay. Remember what I said is after putting the boys' quarter. So assuming you don't put the boys' quarter in there, parking in that place becomes, you can literally hold a small town hall, inside your inside your building. Now it scales up further as you go along. By the time you get to the 540 square meters, which is where the 5-bedroom is sitting on, these ones are sitting on 400 square meters. The 5-bedroom is sitting on 540 square meters, full plot. That one can take so much more cars inside the 179 housing units. So we're delivering them in phases. Okay, so we're not going to finish everything before by this year we're going to have the first commissioning to happen. We're hoping for, let me not let the cat out of the bag, certain dignitaries are coming around to do those commissioning programs, and it's going to be an awesome time, can I assure you of that.